Hello, my dreamers, my goal setters, and my achievers. And yes, you are all three. Because if you have a dream, you can set goals. And if you can set goals, you can achieve it. So, wishing you all the best on this early morning. I wanted to go ahead and do an introductory video. This is my first one, but I am hoping to have several series as we kind of go along and just kind of go over some of the things that I feel like it's important, right? If you are into career development, you are into being a boss chick or guy, and you just want some tips and some information, please join me on my channel. That is what I am here for, and I am going to be doing a lot of different things. We'll go over different techniques. I'm going to incorporate some creative stuff, some art things. But with all that being said, I want to get started by introducing myself, right? Have you ever been invited to a party by your friend and you're like, I don't know her. I don't want to be in her house if I don't know her. I don't feel comfortable, right? So, with that being said, I want to introduce myself so that you feel comfortable when you come to my channel, because I don't want you to come here and not know who you're talking to, right? So, my name is Kelly Moore, and I am a career counselor. Yes, I said it. I'm a career counselor. So, the reason why I say it like that is because I was a very reluctant career counselor. I initially thought that that was the last field in counseling that I wanted to go into. I had a classmate and he was just like, career counseling is where it's at, it's awesome, and she wasn't for it at all. I was like, that is so boring. But I realized that, career is so important and it's turned to my passion. And it's crazy considering where I started. So with that being said, it just kind of evolved into something that I enjoy talking about. Whenever I have people that are like, oh, I don't know what I want to do with myself, I don't know where my direction is, I get excited. Whenever I learn about other people that have had similar walks and journeys when it comes to career development, I get excited about that as well. So just a little bit more about me and my past. So I actually am also a military spouse, so I had a lot of struggles when it came to that, just trying to figure out, what can I do knowing that my husband's in the military and we're going to be traveling a lot? And how do I develop my career knowing that I don't know where I'm going to be in the next 3 years? I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm also a mom of 3. I have a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, and now a 2-month-old. So I also have that element to it too. Just being a working mom and really trying to figure out how does that incorporate into things. Because I would honestly argue that your career is about between a fourth and a third of who you are. Hear me out. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. The reason why I say this is because how much time does a person typically spend doing their job, right? On a daily, you're usually spending about 8 hours a day if you're full-time doing your job. 8 hours out of the day, and it's a 24-hour day, that's a third of it. And, of course, we're going to go ahead and add in weekends because, you got your 8 weekends to yourself. But I would also argue that a lot of times our careers also seep into our personal lives too, right? How many times have you had a job where you haven't been able to take vacations the way you want to? Or you're bringing work home with you at the end of the day and you're like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated at work and I don't know what to do. So that's why I would argue that it does play a huge role in who you are. And I think that's what made me fall in love with it. So that's just a little bit about my journey, but also I really connect to those that are trying to figure it out, because it took me a while to figure it out too. When I was younger, first career that I was interested in was actually being a daycare owner. I know, right? Sounds completely different than career counselor, but initially that's what I wanted to do. I enjoyed working with kids when I was really young, and that was something that I was passionate about. From there, it evolved into me wanting to be an architect. Again, totally different. And then also wanting to possibly go into the medical field. And then it evolved and it kind of progressed from there. I wanted to go into art at one point because I'm really artistic and I enjoy that element of me and who I am. And now I'm a career counselor. And at one point I also wanted to be a forensic psychologist. So it's just when you think about that journey, and please, in the comments below, let's talk about it. Bring that up. Talk about what your journeys look like, because I'm really interested in reading those and hearing about what you guys' journeys have been. Have you been always interested in the same profession your whole life? And even if you haven't been interested in the same profession, I feel like professions are like almost like family, right? Or complete strangers. So if their profession is like a family, you got your sisters, right? Your sisters or your brothers and sisters, your mom and your dad, and those are like your professions that are like really, really close, right? Like you have your career counselor, you got your career coach. Those will be like kind of like in that family. Then you got your cousins, right? And that could be your counselor, your mental health counselor versus your career counselor. Then you have people that are completely strangers, and that would be my architect and my career counselor. Those don't look anything alike. But, that's kind of how I've evolved and I've changed over time based off of my interests and what I was good at. So, below, talk about your journey. Like, were your identified careers sisters, cousins, strangers? Like, what did that look like for you? How did it change? How did it evolve? And what played a role in that? Was it your interest? Was it the money that you would make? What really influenced that? Because there's so many factors that play a role in that. So, that is enough about me. I don't want to make this video too long, but I did want to share just a little bit about who I am, just as an introductory video. But, again, expect more. I am planning on doing some videos about utilizing art in career. I said before, I was interested in the art field at one point. So I'm actually incorporating that into who I am as a career counselor. And I just want to talk about that, even in the sense of like, how can you find your specialty? Like if you're like, I like totally different things, make it your own, make it a niche, turn it into who you are, how you're unique and different, because that's where everything develops, right? That's how you get to find the perfect fit for you, by making it your own. And then also, I want to talk about work-life balance. Like I said before, I'm a mom. I am a military spouse. I am a working individual. I'm a professional. Like all of these things are who I am, and just trying to find that work-life balance so that I can be my full self in all of those roles. And also want to talk about just figuring out, like, how do you find out who you are in order to define who you are as a professional too. So that is what to expect on my channel. I will be doing different series based off of these different topics so that we can go over some things. And of course, if there's any topics within career development, work-life balance, being a military spouse, resume writing, any of those topics at all when it relates to career, please, please, please put it down below, because I want to read them. I want to learn more about you and how I can make videos that are tailored towards what you're interested in. So, it was nice meeting you. Next time, I hope you come to the party, girl or guy. Come to the party now that you know who I am. I'll see you around.